A group of taxi operators that were returning home from a colleague's funeral in KwaZulu-Natal heading back to Joburg were killed in a fatal shooting yesterday. National Police Commissioner Khehla Sitole says a high-level team is working around the clock to ensure that the perpetrators are arrested. Sitole says he wants them arrested within 72 hours. And the acting Provincial Commissioner of KwaZulu-Natal, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi, and his management team are overseeing the investigation into these murders. Well, anyone who might have information that will assist police to arrest these senseless killings is encouraged to contact their nearest police station or phone the SAPS Crime Hot-Line on 08600 10 111. That number again, 08600 10 111. The callers may remain anonymous and all information will be treated with the strictest confidence. Let's get more on this story now with the spokesperson for the National Commissioner, Brigadier Vish Naidoo. Brigadier, thank you so much for joining us. I mean, what a tragic incident. What update can you give us on this tragic incident, sir?
Yes, indeed. A very good afternoon, and thank you for this opportunity. Yes, indeed, it's a very tragic incident. It's an incident that I think must be condemned in all possible terms by everyone in South Africa. This is totally uncalled for. And of course, the National Commissioner has directed, as you rightfully said, that we want these suspects arrested within 72 hours. There was an activation plan that we implemented since the Ngobo issue in the Eastern Cape when our police officers were attacked and killed, and we started the 72 activation plan then. And since then, we started to see a lot of effectiveness and efficiency in terms of the 72-hour activation plan. But so far, I can tell you that police have been working tirelessly since this incident. We are relying heavily on our intelligence environment that seem to have been coming out very strongly of late, particularly with the cash in transit heist, taxi violence as well as gang violence that has been taking place. And we're relying very heavily on them. They are working tirelessly to establish exactly who are responsible or who were responsible for the attack on this taxi carrying mourners from a funeral in KwaZulu-Natal.
You know, Brigadier Vish, I mean, I understand, 72 hours, that's like, it's going to be up in no time. Can we have any hope that the suspects will be apprehended in this given time? And let's talk about, how, without, of course, giving too much information in terms of how you're going to be proceeding with this matter, how the police are going to be working hand in hand with this high-level task team that was appointed.
Well, remember for us, the longer an investigation takes to solve, the more difficult it becomes. The 72 activation plan is a plan which allows for us to mobilize our very effective and efficient resources. We're talking about departments such as crime intelligence, the Directorate for Priority Crimes Investigation, which is known as the Hawks, our general detectives. Then we also mobilize our special task force, our national intervention units. These are all the units that form part of this activation plan. And the reason we mobilize them immediately so that we know that time is not lost, so to speak. Yes. So the first 24 to 36 to 48 to 72 hours is critical for us to track or trace these suspects and bring them to book.
Absolutely.
Now, coming to your question about how we can, in terms of the investigation, it is very, very difficult for me to say now.
Yes.
We don't want to raise any hopes, create any expectations, but I know that these investigations are moving in a positive direction, and we're hoping that in the 72 hours we can achieve some phenomenal success as far as this attack is concerned.
Absolutely. Now, Vish, before I let you go, is the investigation going to span in both provinces? We do know that it took place in KwaZulu-Natal, but of course the taxi operators belong to the Gauteng Taxi Association. So will you be going to the length and breadth of the country trying to apprehend these suspects?
No, we most definitely will go through the length and breadth of this country depending on where our investigations take us. If our investigations take us to Gauteng, we'll go to Gauteng. If they take us to any other province in the country, we'll go to those provinces. One must remember at this stage, we haven't really conclusively highlighted the motive for this attack.
Yes.
There's a lot of speculation on what the motive could be. We are working on certain theories, but of course, those theories can only be realized once we know exactly what the motive is, and we identify the suspects and arrest them. But right now, I don't think we're at that point as yet where we can say that we have established a motive conclusively and that we know who's responsible for these attacks. But rest assured, we want the nation to rest assured that as soon as that is done, as soon as we are in a position to highlight the motive and to say who's responsible for these attacks, we will be the first to come out and inform the nation. But in the meantime, as you said in your opening statement, we're looking for anybody who can provide us with any information that can help us secure a successful prosecution in this matter. To contact our 086 001 number. All information will be treated in strictest confidence, and callers can remain anonymous.
You know, Vish, just to add on that, I mean, we've heard allegations where you've heard people bringing in tips to the police, and then they say that they claim that their names ended up being published, or the suspects actually got hold of their names. How can you then guarantee that, I mean, it's such a high-level case that it's going to be treated with the utmost respect?
Anybody, even yourself, if you call the 086 001 number,
yes, sir.
You don't have to provide them with your number. You don't have to provide them with your name. You can remain anonymous from the initial call right till the end. We will provide the caller with a code, and if the caller calls again to get an update or a feedback on the outcome of the information, all they need to do is provide the code, and then we can work on the code. There's no need for anybody to provide their identity, and that's why we always reiterate the fact that a caller can remain anonymous and that information will be treated with strictest confidence.
Thank you so much, Vish. We're going to leave it there for now and wish you best of luck in bringing about a speedy resolution to that matter. That is the spokesperson for the police commissioner, Mr. Brigadier Vish Naidoo, on the line to us from KwaZulu-Natal, where, of course, we are still talking about that tragic taxi shooting that took place between Johannesburg and KwaZulu-Natal last night. Now, the easy